you're all doing well. I'm just making some posts real quick, letting you know that I am currently live. So just should just take a moment. This also appears to room as well. Okay. Checking for any updates. And should be good. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. That's good. And that is good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Just getting this up and running, then. Is it updating? What? Hold on. Why is it with this particular game right now? I mean, if I had to go in through a different method, okay. No big deal. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Finally. Okay. Now, finally up and running.
Hey, something back there for you, pal.
Another weapon.
Huh. Okay. Poseidon, Aphrodite, Artemis, Ares, Dionysus, Hermes. Oh, there's some notes. Pascali, Medusa, Cerberus, Cephis, Useless Achilles. Treacherous Chaos.
You just protect me. Not yet.
Okay. I think I'm ready. Let's go.
The one called Nyx. She is your mother, as I understand? We Olympians rarely consort with the chthonic gods. Though Nyx herself reached out to me about your plight, and I was spurred to act.
Athena's power. Who's next?
Okay.
Who keeps fixing it?
No, no chaos.
Am I interrupting something?
Okay.
Didn't think so. Nyx's power.
Okay. See. Okay. I'm just checking to see if there's like anything hidden. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Okay.
Should work.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Gods grant me strength.
See. Okay. Okay, so far just one. Okay, come on. Huh.
For safekeeping.
Okay. Let's see.
What's on offer?
Life essence, restore up to 16.
Should come in useful.
Yeah, I'll go over here. Okay.
Shiny.
See. Okay.
You lads again, huh?
Okay. Okay.
Had enough.
Yay! Okay. Let's see. Cast foes in small areas can defeat Death Defiance. Make you take another. Okay, this one.
Your wisdom guide me.
Okay. Let's go.
Nice.
Okay. Let's go here. Come on. Just making sure that this area is clean before all cleared. Okay. Let's see. Mana or I'll go over here for now. Okay.
Yum. Got to say, you are a sight for sore eyes there, Charon. So, looks like you're selling. Is that it? You come to help me out? Brilliant.
Okay. Let's go. shit.
Surprise.
Okay.
It seems I need to look for better help.
Now to collect.
Okay.
Mine now. Claiming these.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. No! Oh. Okay. I just saw my health. Okay.
Something I can use.
Okay. Okay, there's nothing. See. Let's see. Nectar. Gemstones. Okay, so Chiron, Toggle. Underworld's best known domain is death, but this domain is countless wealth and riches. Wasn't by the river Nick so long ago. Okay, well, this one I have no idea, or at least I cannot recall.
Good morning.
Oh yeah.
Hello, sir. Five-second rule. That was 5 seconds, right?
You know, Prince Ed, I'd not expected to run into you again, not after all this time. Something amiss down in the house, or what? Not had much company of late, is all.
Well, something's just about always amiss back home, sir. Figured it couldn't hurt to check up on things in Tartarus a bit more frequently.
Well, I am grateful for it. I and the old boulder there, in turn. I'm used to going lengthy stretches on my own, but having visitors from time to time would do me well. Easy does it.
All right. Hit the spot.
get to it.
Godspeed and all.
Kieran's shop. I'll take this one.
That's all I can afford for the moment.
Can't get rid of me, Meg.
What are you doing, Zagreus? The underworld is sealed off. What you're attempting is impossible. You've seen what happens when you go too far.
This place can't stay sealed shut forever, Meg. In the meantime, I thought I'd get some practice in, you know?
I'm not your practice partner, fool. Here's my whip.
No, 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 no. Don't get close. Damn it. Honestly, a little further than I originally
Okay, she got me.
anticipated. This is not there.
I know that Nyx has been abetting you. You wish to take advantage of her pity? I care not. Her powers have their limits anyway.
How can you... Nyx is the night itself and can do as she pleases, isn't that correct, Father? You think I asked you to get involved in all this business?
You, boy, have already dragged this entire household, not to mention my fool relatives, into this mess which you've created, which you dare call business.
Pleasure doing business, then.
Cerberus cannot be bothered at this time.
Oh,
Hey, Achilles. My father's hall back there. I don't suppose you'll let me have myself a look. Lots for me to rummage through, I'm sure.
You know I'd do just about anything to aid you, lad. But my ability to do so hinges on me sticking to my post. Though if I do catch wind of anything back there requiring attention, you shall know.
Understood, sir. I better not.
You know your father's rules.
It still won't stop me from
Keep
trying.
out of there, I said.
I still try.
Nyx, I have to ask you something. Are you certain that my search isn't in vain? My mother, what if she's gone?
Your mother yet lives. There can be no other explanation. For if she did not, she would be with us, here. She was a good woman. Stately. Kind. I wished to raise you as I thought she would have.
I think I turned out okay. Megara, the featured servant of the house. Deuce is probably cleaning the rafters. Got anything good?
See, I have enough for one nectar. Enough to buy 3 of these.
Give me the current special. Just what I was looking for. Here's the keys.
For me? I can't accept something like this, lad. You know that.
Come on, Achilles, live a little, such as you're able. I won't tell if you won't tell.
I see no reason to make. Far too many of them. I see many of this place. No, where goes last.
Your kindness toward me is unnecessary, child. You know I have no expectation of such gifts from you or anyone.
I think of you always, Nyx. You raised me as your own, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, nonetheless, she is toils looking next to the house and get back to affairs. Let's reach this notice.
Hey, room, I'm back. I'm wide awake.
Oh, I'm trying to. Okay. Greater reflex.
I need more darkness. Looking good.
Okay.
There he is.
I'm ready.
Oh, Zeus.
So you are son to Hades by that Nyx, the night goddess, is that correct, nephew? Well, I suppose she's closest to a queen as your lord fathers like to find down there. I tried to match him up with some more wholesome types, but no, and here we are.
Let's see.
How careless of me.
I'm just trying to make sure that again everything has been taken account for.
Mine now. Where now?
Let's see. Do I want more money or do I want more? I think there for now.
Now let's be reasonable, no?
Okay.
That's what you get.
Okay. Let's get this now.
More coming.
Okay. Okay. Get some keys. Damn it.
We're not finished. That's what you get.
Hey man, you've been
Oh.
having some bad run-ins with that Fury Megara. Is that her name? Now, isn't she a real firebrand? Maybe this will help you out next time you meet.
Drunken flourish. Special inflicts hangover. Or damage. Seconds. Tipsy shot. Cast a large explosive that bursts into a gust of fog. You take less damage. Okay.
Phew, that's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Stay dead.
Okay, let's see. Charge. Base damage. Special hit.
Daedalus power.
Come forth, wretches, and stop this meddler.
Damn it.
That was inevitable.
That was too much. Hey, Hypnos, what would it take for you to let me through the locked door down the hall?
That's a good one. You know I can't let you enter your dad's private chambers anymore since you betrayed his trust and tried to run away from home. Sorry, master's orders.
Nothing for me back there anyway.
Look who's back.
The prince and Cerberus exchange a look.
I'm busy now, as you can plainly see.
Are you?
Hey, Achilles. I heard from Lady Artemis out there. It seems you have a bit of a fan in her. She wanted me to tell you you're the best. She's not mistaken, by the way.
The goddess of the hunt herself said that? That's very flattering to hear. Good thing she doesn't know I'm all washed up by now. The memory is of my glory days.
Prince, your father, I think he's pretty steamed right now about something, so maybe you could stay away from him, or I could tell him you're not here.
That's quite all right, Dusa. I'm not afraid of him, and neither should you be. We're the best help he's ever found.
Just doing my job here, Prince.
Okay.
What's up for barter? Too good to pass up. Good deal. Here's the fee. Show me something new.
Let's see. Bonus attack and special damages of those with iron.
I've no more darkness. Nyx's power.
Okay.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yep. Aphrodite?
I cannot help but wonder, dearest, why Lord Hades would have kept your mere existence hidden from us all this time. Perhaps he knew that once you met us, you would stop at nothing to come seek us out.
Feels worth
Out. Fix that for you.
Okay. Okay. Let's get this over with. Okay.
You're nothing.
Okay.
Power of the gods.
Okay. Okay.
More brimstones.
I'll go over here.
Vitality.
Any more darkness or
Much better.
I need to choose more money routes.
Ready, lads? You found me, Artemis.
Okay.
So, Aphrodite reached you first, did she? Sounds exactly like something she'd do. She has a knack for trouble. So, let's just stay focused here.
Let's see. Special is stronger. 20% chance of critical damage. Cast 6 if I do a 10% chance of critical damage. Any damage deal with chance. It's critical. I cast 6 foes with 10% chance to deal critical damage.
Aphrodite won't mind.
Okay.
What a surprise!
Hey, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If I may be so bold, Your Highness, I was wondering, what brings you back around this way again? Same story as last time?
Look, I have to level with you, Sisyphus. I'm leaving the house. I've had quite enough. You understand, I'm sure. I'm going to the surface.
Oh, that is quite an undertaking, Prince. If it wasn't you yourself proposing it, I'd like to call it madness, truth be told. Though, you're just mad enough to pull it off. Well, hey, I hope you make it. Good fortune out there. Not to worry.
A pleasure.
Farewell, Highness.
Just in case. Okay.
Time to collect. Let's see here.
Let's see. Turn soul plus. Okay. Acid damage. Poison damage. Strat conjuration. Duration 60 conjures. Acid. Feel like I have no choice, so
Just for last time.
okay.
I'll take what's mine.
Those tropes are not for you. Incompetence.
There we go.
Yay.
That's mine.
Well, Zag, any last requests this time before I send you home?
Let's see, how about a swift and painful death? Would that be possible?
Be cheeky all you like. You'll get exactly what you asked, and nothing more.
No! No, 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 no. I think this is probably my best option. At least for the time being.
Not a chance.
Damn it.
No, you don't.
I'll make you pay.
Damn it.
I'll send you back as often as it takes.
I'll get you for that, Meg.
Huh? Ha! Megra the Fury got you again. She is unstoppable, isn't she? One time, I tried to stop her on the way to have a chat with your dad, and she didn't even turn her head.
My condolences.
Grown any wiser yet?
The many-headed Cerberus is busy thinking of his next savory meal. Don't come back anytime soon if you can help it, lad.
I heard lately from the goddess Athena, Nyx. She seems to admire you. I thought Olympians didn't like our kind.
They typically do not. But you are family, child. And I believed Athena wise enough to understand why someone such as I would seek her in particular. She has in turn made others in her family aware.
You make a good team. Have to tell you, Deucer, your job seems really stressful here. It's a big house. You have to tend to the entire thing.
Oh, well, most of it isn't so bad at all. But Ever since Cerberus tore up the lounge, I guess it's been a little hectic getting everything back to normal like before.
I'm not sure it was ever normal around here, but I'm sorry I created work for you. Cerberus tore the place apart because of me. Though maybe I can help you patch things up.
Don't say that, Prince. Cerberus knows better, and besides, you have your job to do, don't you? And I have mine. And I will do my very best at it. Just wait and see.
And
Okay.
she's off. What's new?
Alright, I don't have any dark. I don't have any nectar. I don't have any keys.
I'll take it.
I need to pay for this just to get this.
I'll take that deal. That's too good a deal to pass up.
I want to try to get everything maxed up. Let's see. Yeah, so.
See you, Mira. Skelly.
Hey. I'm hit.
My blade.
Drop something.
Bye, everyone.
Where do you think you are? Who do you think you're talking to? Nobody gets out of my domain, whether alive or dead.
That's what you think.
Let's see.
My blade grows stronger. Back to dust. Out of my sight.
Okay.
Okay. Much better.
Okay. Money or money?
Next up.
Okay. Let's see. Sidon or Zeus?
Uncle Poseidon.
Ah, it seems to me you've had yourself a spot of lady trouble lately. Isn't that correct, nephew? I mean the Fury down in Tartarus, of course. You're going to let her keep on bossing you around?
Let's see. Deals more damage and knocks those away. Okay. And more darkness. Okay. I'll go here.
What is it now? What else? I can use that back home.
Okay.
Let's go, lads. Anyone else?
After we learned about your plight and your existence from the goddess Nyx, all of us on Olympus rallied to assist you just as best we could. A family such as mine protects its own.
Heaven's Revenge. Let's see. Let's put this over here. Where is this? Okay. Everything needs to be cleared.
Good enough to eat. Sure, why not?
My coffers are not yours for pillaging.
Damn it.
Darkness.
Back to the lowest depths with them.
That's that.
I needed that.
More, huh?
I'll go over here for now. Okay.
Delicious. Exactly what I need.
Death Defiance. Okay. So is there two, or is it that the one? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Charon's shop.
I can't even afford anything.
Hit the spot. Hi, Meg.
And here you are again. You're slow to learn the way of things, I see.
I may be slow to learn, but at least I'm rather patient.
This talk about your patience is beginning to test mine. Enough. Come on and die. Get the hell out of here.
No effect.
Damn it.
I'll kill you next time, too.
get you for that, Meg.
Hold on. No. Hold on. Okay. Just going to be back real quick. Hello? Okay. Just making sure the mic worked.
What? You got whipped by Megara the Fury, eh? I always wanted to say that. Whipped, you know? Referring both to how badly you lost and to that glowy purple whip she's always threatening me with whenever I try to talk to her.
I get it.
You are not to aid him in these matters, Nyx. His foolishness is to be scorned and reprimanded, not indulged. Do we have an understanding?
We have an understanding, Hades, yes. He is your own son, after all, and therefore your responsibility. I, in turn, have my commitments to this realm and to this house. You have aided me in them, so I remain, as ever, in your debt.
It is not necessary to remind me. Surely all those who once defied my brothers and myself would much prefer a post within my house over eternity within the lowest depths of Tartarus. Not that the darkness there would trouble you.
I hate it when they fight.
The prince and Cerberus exchange a look.
Those shades are always milling about.
I'll keep an eye on things while you go away.
Thank you, sir. I've come for questionable deals.
Let's see. Oh, that's over.
Everything is spick and span, like always, Your Highness.
Take care, Dusa.
Okay, well. 3. Okay.
Now we're talking. Time to go. Olympus calling.
Good tidings once again there, little nephew. It is I, returned as ever here to make a splash against your many, many foolish enemies.
Let's make some waves, right, Uncle? Piss off. Come. In the name of Hades.
Okay, well. That was a waste.
Heads up.
Okay. Money. Let's go for the money.
Come, wretches. Thought I won't miss a couple coins.
Okay. unfortunately cannot sacrifice my health. Is that Artemis?
You rats again, huh? Anyone else?
Uncle Poseidon blessed you, didn't he? To think that big fat oaf is your own father's brother. I'm told to be respectful near him, but it's hard.
Let's see.
Time to hunt.
Okay. Let's see.
Where to? Whatever, let's try it.
That does not belong to you.
Okay. Come on.
Fine. Help yourself.
Well, that's better. Who doesn't love this stuff?
Okay.
Just what I need.
Okay. Going up here.
Next.
Let's see. Hack.
Razor sharp.
Let's see. Okay. Well, only ones.
this chamber. Pleasure doing business.
Okay.
Hello, Meg.
You're never getting past me, Zacharias.
While that's probably the case, maybe I will this time.
Keep telling yourself that. Maybe it'll help take your mind off the pain that is to come. Hold it right there.
Okay.
A taste of this.
Damn it. That's so stupid.
Okay, she got me.
It was the witch thing, wasn't it?
Too bad, boy.
Here. I trust that the mirror in your bedchamber has proved satisfactory, dear child.
Better than I could have possibly imagined, Nyx. You mentioned there was something more that it could do once I had grown accustomed. I think I'm ready for that now.
I think you are as well. Then it shall be as you wish.
Oh.
Thank you.
You realize just how much property of mine you have defaced?
Well then.
I've not the faintest doubt that you can do this.
Let's see. Get made whole. Here is in this place alone without the one who may share my life. No ruler of flesh and blood. He is somewhere within this realm, yet our time I think is long since past.
Let's see here. Seems like a good deal. The mirror's grown in power. Thank you, Nyx. I can't do that yet. Arthur hungers. Ready. What do we have here?
Aphrodite.
You've had a brush with Megara the Fury, haven't you? Oh, I know a thing or two about that one. Though lately we Olympians no longer mingle with those living in the underworld. You're the only exception.
Push on the short-term range, last and fixed week.
Come on, you. Do your worst.
Okay.
Let's call it even. Delicious.
Get over here. Okay. Come on. Okay. Let's see. Fun stuff. The forest. Okay. Just gonna run around a bit to see.
Much better.
Okay. Let's go. see.
All clear.
Okay.
I thought crystals were supposed to be pretty.
Yeah, I honestly hate this one the most when it comes to enemies. It's because like they move around.
Love and loss.
Okay. Get some nectar. Okay.
Blood and darkness.
We have a pest problem.
Caught out. Back to dust. Almost there.
Okay.
Who is going to clean all this up?
There.
Okay. Come on.
Time to collect.
Okay. That. I'm going.
Colorful.
Okay, get that.
How bad could it be?
Consider this a warning. Blood and darkness.
Mine.
Okay. Okay, what's over here?
Just on a little break.
Hello, sir.
I heard straight from...
Oh, I'll get her for the both of us one of these days.
Let's see.
Then here you go.
Oh, thank you.
So long for now.
Kieran's shop. Don't spend it all in one place, mate. Gods grant me strength. Much better.
Okay.
I'm back, Meg.
Your weapon's looking rather dull there, Zagreus. Great Daedalus decided not to grace you with his gifts this time around.
Now that you mention it, he hasn't, no. Though I'm prepared to say I don't need special augmentations to get past you.
Oh, we can put that to the test right now. Just remember, you need all the help you can get. Waste of time.
Okay. Okay. Damn it.
I'll never hold back. For you or anyone.
I was so close. So close.
Got to keep at it.
Oh, it's you. Just come on in. You're on the list.
See you, Hypnos. Achilles, sir. Within the Codex, you'd written something about someone with whom you shared your life when you were flesh and blood.
Ah, that is a private matter for me, lad. From a time I had convinced myself the Codex would be for my own eyes alone. My past is not really worth mentioning. And I'm presently on duty, so begging your pardon, please.
Oh, of course, sir.
Ah, now this is something, lad. I'd hate to think that you've returned to bring me this just for my sake. Though I'm grateful, really.
You've always been there for me, Achilles. Even when Father pushed me away. This is nothing. I don't think I can ever repay you.
Okay, yan na yan.
Doesn't seem like a...
And after that, Dusa, you are to clean the rafters once again and prune the gardens thoroughly. By then it should be time to tend the kitchens and sweep the lounging area a second time.
Yes, right away.
Poor Dusa. What's on the old exchange?
6, 67, dark.
You realize just how much property of mine you have defaced?
Well, all right. There's a good boy.
I grow nauseous merely listening to this.
The vicious, triple-headed Cerberus shows some restraint for now.
There's a good boy. Thought you'd like that.
Cerberus is overjoyed to have received such a delicious treat.
No turning back. Good.
Zeus.
Fight your father's legions with Varatha, the Eternal Spear. The irony must not escape him, for he long ago stood by my side against the Titans with that thing in hand.
Let's see.
Electric.
Okay. What addiction?
Looks handy.
Okay. Let's see if I try to stick with.
Alright, who's next? Good enough to eat.
Okay, let's see. I want to go over here.
Always a pleasure, Charon.
Get some more darkness. Okay, come on. Okay, come on. Okay.
Some of Charon's wares.
Hmm. Cyclops jerky. Never seen that stuff before, or at least I don't recall.
That's what you get. More coming. Thank the gods.
Okay.
Transgressions are not tolerated.
Let's make this quick.
You lived through all of that.
Okay.
And my keep.
Let's go over here.
Respite.
Okay, come on. Okay. Let's go over here.
Uh-oh.
I'll give these wretches not a minute more.
I'm trapped.
Okay, come on, I can do this.
Useless.
There we are.
Where?
Worth it.
Oh. Okay.
Kieran's shop. That's better.
Okay. Let's get.
Hey there, Meg.
Oh, there you are. Just as I was beginning to think it's been too long since last I killed you, Zag.
Admit it, Meg. You can't stop thinking about me.
Don't flatter yourself. I think of you in pain. Don't go anywhere.
I guess you must have died out there again, huh?
You never learn.
I'll make sure everything is taken.
What's new?
Lad, all this generosity, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I'm alone, yes, but my heart belongs to another. Ever since I was alive. I hope you understand.
I somehow knew that was the case, Achilles. I wanted you to have this anyway. Just don't drown your sorrows, as they seem to make you stronger.
Thank you then, and do not worry about me. I'm long since past my sorrow, and the rage I felt when first my heart was broken. Now it's but another scar. They say it's our scars that give us character.
Okay. $137, so I should have enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through all that, the way to the surface.
Yeah, one more,
Again.
then we'll just get into the astrology portion.
What have I wrought that such a witless, careless brat be my progeny?
Get out of my head.
Ares?
I admire your Lord Father very much, for his grim work lets me continue mine. I trust that one day you shall settle your dispute.
Okay, let's see. Curse of Pain. Yeah.
The will to fight. more wretches.
Keep on going the Aries path, I guess.
I accept this message.
Shadow range.
Gods. Yum.
Okay.
He's quite the chap. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. And now I'll give you this.
See, gain when you pick up. Receive one. Now, next. Okay.
although I'm full.
Okay. Nectar. Right now. Possible playing this game for free or is this required? As far as I'm aware, this is only like a one-time purchase. So it's not really subscription based. So unfortunately it's not oh, I see. Yeah. One-time purchase, but like once you have it, you have it. So it's really not, you know, that bad. I heard good reviews about this game, that's why I'm... Yeah, no, I totally understand that. Yeah. It's really like... Honestly, I do something similar too. Like, I look into the game, ask people who has it. Yeah, so I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah. Yeah, this game is really interesting. Yeah. So a little fun story time here. In high school, I actually did a little like two-person play with one of my classmates, and actually what we did was actually based on Greek mythology, and I actually was playing Zagreus while they were playing Persephone. Yeah, it was like a short like 5-minute play, but essentially like I as Zagreus was trying to convince my mother to come back to the underworld, and she agreed, and that she eventually agreed, and essentially that was like the end of the storyline. But it was like a little fun play. Yeah. Yeah. What part of the world? I'm from Arizona, so like right now it is like 11:57 p.m. So yeah, I'm pretty much like a nocturnal person, very much night owl, you know. So yeah, I'm also from the U.S. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, hope that everything is going well for you overall at Texas. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, everything is great. That's great to hear, honestly. Hope that you stay safe and all, especially given to like how crazy everything's been going lately. Oh gosh. Yeah, just giving you a heads up too. This is probably going to be like my last quote round before I get into my second portion of this stream, which is not sure if you probably have seen my little profile, but yeah. By the way, your setup looks clean. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it is probably the best that I can do for the time being. Yeah, I sort of have like for. Do you play more RPG games or mix of? Honestly, I kind of mix it up, but the games that I do play from time to time is often filtered through a process I have. So like what this process is, it's based on like tarot cards, numerology, and all these other like divination techniques as to like figure out what game is will be ideal for the time being. Nice. You're sticking around for it. Yeah. Sadly, I don't do tarot reading as a service or probably as a content, but I do astrology. And to be more precise, what I do is a science-based astrology. And what that means is say, for example, we want to know what makes a super successful corporation. We'll look at the charts of tens of thousands of super successful companies and see if there is a pattern. If the pattern is found, great. If not, oh well. But for argument's sake, let's just say that pattern was found. So then we'll repeat this process, but with companies that were just dramatic failures, and see if there's a pattern among those, and see if there's a pattern at that. And let's say a pattern was in fact found again. So then let's say in both sets we notice Pluto popped up frequently. So then we can set up and design a statistical series of tests that either prove or disprove that hypothesis. So that is sort of like the whole process, and as a result of us doing this for 40 plus years, or close to 40 years, with hundreds of thousands of charts from people, companies, events, historical events, and so forth, like, yeah. As you get an idea, like, it's a lot, but it's a very well fine-tuned
No need for that.
astrology. But yeah.
Oh no.
You aren't getting past me, Zagreus.
Okay. Okay, let's see. All the way on. Oh gosh. Yeah, from so I'm playing with controller, and it sort of has like an automatic aim of sorts. So what? At least that's from my experience with playing with this game so far. Okay. Gosh. Wait, am I gonna do this?
You stay right there.
Dang it! I got too greedy.
Damn you.
I was so close. Jeez.
Oh, you win this round, Meg.
Okay. Let's. So I go here. Well, I run a Discord server for more than that like you. I can add you there. Sure. Yeah, if you want. Yeah. Yeah, that actually would be of great help of sorts. You know? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right now I'm just pulling up my astrological service. Well, my one of my many software. As you can see here, all of this is the astrology softwares I use, including this one. This is the astronomy softwares I use for my testing and all. So, as you can tell, it's a lot. Yeah, so right now I'll be going over the process of showing like the astrology of luck. So we'll be choosing random people and random charts and just show like where luck is found in each of these charts and conditions and like how it randomly manifests. So let's choose Jacksepticeye. So I have his chart right here. And let me pull up some significant points in terms of luck. So Ixion, Orcus, for Sun, UB313. Gets pretty quiet. Oh, pretty quiet. Yeah, so whenever I'm not like directly facing the front, which you could kind of see right here, it sort of just gets quiet from there. Yeah, so like if you see me like talking over here, you can kind of just tell like the mic is like not really designed that way. So when I end up passing up the mic, I end up sunny. Yeah. Let's see Varuna. Let's see Isis. We'll look at Midas, Odin, Phoenix. We'll be pulling Sanctus, and Lilith, Sappho. And let's pull up all the Saturn midpoints. Oh, yeah. I'm just trying to pull it up somewhere where not really. Yeah, I should probably have it up there for now on. Yeah. Control V. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it if you don't mind. Yeah, I sent you. Yeah, I'm in the process of filling that out right now. Um, yeah, I'll fill that out a bit more in detail a bit later. Just for the time being. Let me kind of focus back on this just for a moment. Yeah, so we'll be pulling up the Saturn, Jupiter, Chiron midpoint, the Saturn, Chiron midpoint, Jupiter midpoint. Saturn, Sun midpoint. Yeah. No, I study both astronomy and astrology and cosmology. And there's some advanced astrological techniques, believe it or not, where like if you don't not know astronomy, you're going to have an immense difficulty with it. Let's see, pull up Jupiter Chiron, Jupiter Sun. Okay, yeah. Um, It's very complex. Let's see. Be pulling up. Let's pull up. Nope, not that. Okay. Venus Chiron. Venus Sedna. Kind of scroll back. Jupiter Venus. Do you know about the affiliation? Could you please clarify on what you're referring to exactly in terms of affiliation? Yeah, right now the in the moment the software is pulling up all the ephemeruses and astronomical information before I can start calculating all these points into the chart. This should only take about a minute or so. Well, based on you have 25 followers. Oh, okay, the Twitch affiliation. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Oh yeah, I have heard of that. Yeah, so for an average of 4 days, then you, yeah. I haven't yet to hit that just yet. But yeah, I have heard of it and read into that. Okay. Um, so right now we'll be focusing on luck, on where to find it in the chart and how does it manifest. So just for a little quick reference, due to the fact that in traditional, like popular mainstream astrology, um, with luck, it is associated with Jupiter. Jupiter is also associated in general with not just luck, but also the Horn of Plenty. It is immense blessings. It is also known as the helpful planet. Sure. If you want to, go ahead. Do you know this is an astrology and gaming channel? So things of that nature would very much be a bit more restrained in that sense. Yeah, but for life's lessons, luck in the chart is usually done with Saturn and also Jupiter, respectively. Saturn is usually where one is unlucky, but Jupiter is usually where one is lucky. That is sort of like why you would want to focus on those 2 points. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of that stuff is sort of like in the moment, like kind of postponed a bit for the time being, because as I mentioned, like I'm an astrologer first, so everything is kind of broken down to that. Um, but as we see here in Jacksepticeye's chart, Jupiter is in quincunx to Sappho, and Jupiter is also squaring to Xanthus. So what does that mean? So Sappho is associated with obsessions, OCD. It's also with like anxiety driven situation. It is the um sure, but can you DM me those in Discord just so I can have those on record? Yeah. So Jupiter Sappho is like, as I mentioned, like immense luck, but in this case, like it is like luck with in relations to like anxiety or like his OCD tendencies, like is able to like help manifest it into like bringing like more consistency in terms like the luck is stabilizing in that regards. Jupiter Xanthus is also in the chart with Xanthus. It is more of like just sort of just do it. No, yeah, I know. um, with Jupiter Xanthus, it's associated with components of sort of like the just do it mentality. It's also referred to as the serial killer planet, both in a literal and metaphorical sense. So it's usually like looks for like the quick gratifications in the moment, or whatever sounds good in the moment, or things that sort of just like dies on its own because of like laziness of sorts. So for example, like with Xanthus, it's sort of like, let's say you're trying to like work on your health. Well, Xanthus would be sort of like the little voices in your head telling you like, oh, it's okay if you just take like a day off from working out. Oh, that piece of cake, that looks really good. Like those little voices and all that, like Xanthus will be playing that out. So as a result, quote, metaphorically speaking, it is, quote, killing or getting rid of the determination of working out. And of course, if we were to, let's say, talk about serial killers, Xanthus interacting with, let's say, Saturn, it's one of the most common alignments that we have found among immense amounts of serial killers. Um, so Jupiter Chiron midpoint. What the Jupiter Chiron midpoint? It is associated with both the influences of Jupiter and Chiron. So this is the Cinderella midpoint. This is sort of like where one is seen in their best light in situations of that nature. So with this case, it's also immense blessings in terms of one's career, immense blessings with the family, immense blessings with children, and so forth. And with also the Jupiter Chiron midpoint, it is interacting with Mars. Now, whenever alignments are in 180 degrees, by default, they are usually negative alignments. However, for midpoints, they are known to also project themselves. So what that means is there's also another Jupiter Chiron midpoint exactly 180 degrees from itself. And whenever they form or do so, the opposite end is creating what is known or referred to as a conjunction. So a conjunction is a positive alignment, and from extensive research and findings, usually positive alignments outweigh the negative alignments. But of course, that depends on what the celestial body is and what kind of chart we're looking at. But in this case, since it is a birth chart, this is actually very positive. Over here, we're also seeing immense positive alignments with it interacting Uranus as well. Also with Vesta, this is another positive with interacting with Midas over here. That is yet another positive. Also interacting with Odin, another positive. Now with the Jupiter Chiron interacting with the Jupiter Sen at midpoint, this is positive, but this is referred to as a minor. This is referred to as a minor enhancement. So it is strong, but not super strong. However, again, given to the fact that this is a midpoint though, by default, it will be considered as a significantly much stronger point because the 180 celestial point will be creating either a quincunx and or trine. But in this case, it's a quincunx, which is a very powerful alignment that can go either way. Yeah, I have considered that idea as well. Sort of just looking into like playing around with the idea in terms of the visual look. So once I find one that I'm personally very happy with, I'll have it set up accordingly. Um, so with Jupiter Chiron interacting with Mars, Mars is sort of the will, determination, and drive. So as we can sort of get an idea with Jacksepticeye, it is his determination and drive is what makes him very much seen in a very positive light, and also to achieve and do whatever it is that he wants to do and actually succeeds in it. Also, of course, it is interacting with Uranus, which that's associated with technology. That's associated with not just technology, but also with online. It is of things that are change or concepts of change or the urge for freedom. It's also associated with internet as well. So like we could kind of see like, okay, well Chiron, it is also since there's a Jupiter Chiron point midpoint, it's sort of like successful career in relations to like his determination to drive in content creation or online. Or since also Uranus, it also is associated with the entertainment industry as well. So you kind of get a very much good idea like how much like success as a content creator that he is very much well associated with being. We also have Vesta interacting with this point as well. With Vesta, it is associated with likability, sharing, caring, also sort of like one's community as well. So we see like a very positive community or like one like that is naturally sharing and caring. He is very likable. Um, so we also see like a very popular and very likable content creator that does the work necessary to be successful in his given field. That is the interpretation so far. Now, with also the Jupiter Senna midpoint, this point I refer to it as the Alphaba midpoint, primarily because it is sort of like two opposing forces that are contradictory to various extremes, but they very much coexist. For example, like if you're familiar with the book itself of Wicked or seen the play or movie, you're probably familiar that Elphaba is very like intelligent. She's very much like stands for various noble deeds and so forth, but she does have a tendency of taking it to the extremes. But in this case, it's very much a very helpful, but maybe somewhat sort of like a helpful, but more in relations to determination, drive, and ambitions. Senna, it does have some very negative alignments as well. Most of them has to do with corruption, but usually with Jupiter playing it out in this case, it's very much of a situation where you should expect more of situations of like very good positive public image with a very good, strong, successful like determination and drive to obtain the work or doing the work necessary to be a successful content creator. Okay, yeah. 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 So with also the Jupiter Chiron midpoint, it is interacting with Midas. So with Midas, it is associated with knowing to be the point of good luck, but more specifically, it is the point of where one is more likely to make a lot of money. So again, with Midas interacting with Jupiter Chiron, so another's like very successful career in terms of entertainment industry, is where he's more likely to make an extensive amounts of money. Also, it is interacting with Odin. Odin is also a good luck point in the chart, in which um one is also very likely in terms of making immense success in terms of like just anything. So like immense blessings, especially in terms of his success in his own career, success within like families or having a family, or immense blessings and success of any types of sorts as well. Um Also, it is interacting with Xanthus, as I mentioned. It is the serial killer point. So what this suggests is that with Jacksepticeye, he needs to be rather cautious in terms of how much like effort, how much like of his inner demons like telling him to like not do something. He needs to be very cautious in terms of like not listening to that. Otherwise, all the dreams and ambitions that he's been working towards and been building up will unfortunately be undo itself if he listens to those like inner voices of like, oh, he should do like take a break. He should probably do this or that. So like it's best for him to be cautious and wary of said situations. Um, let's look up at his Saturn. So with Saturn, it is interacting with the Sun. It is also interacting with Venus, Pluto, Ceres, Juno, UB313, also referred to as Eris, and also the Saturn-Venus midpoint. So just to make it a little more easier, just to see, Venus, also look at Saturn, Pluto, Ceres, Juno, UV313, so pull that back up, and the Saturn Venus midpoint. Yeah, so as you see here, this is much more straightforward visual of like what is going on in the chart and the synchronization that's being pulled and viewed. So right here we kind of see a yod that's going on, roughly about about 3 conjoined yods right here. So a yod is pretty much like an isosceles, very much like an isosceles triangle. So that is essentially a yod created by Ceres, which is right here. Venus, the Saturn-Venus midpoint, Saturn, and Juno. So Juno, so in this case, Saturn is, as I mentioned, it is very much like the unlucky point. It is also the point of dislikes. It is also of crystallization of issues and problems. It's also the point of which where one may have the tendency of sort of just being, I guess you can say, in the lines of they're very much like down on their luck. They're very much like possible of hatred either towards others or towards oneself. But this is sort of like what Saturn does. It does also symbolize with determination. It is also of discipline. It is the lessons learned, tests pass, practice makes perfect type of ordeal as well. But in terms of luck, it is not lucky at all. If anything, it is the harsh tests of life. That's what's manifest. So in this case, we can kind of see a immense dislike or immense ability to lose money, essentially because of Venus Venus is associated with one's cash flow. It is love, beauty, it's elegance, manners, diplomacy, and so forth. And in this case, what it is doing, it is also interacting with its midpoint right here, and it's actually pretty much very close to being exact. And within what our studies and findings, we found that when alignments are more close to being exact, they're more likely to be manifesting and have higher, stronger capabilities compared to those that are not so close to being exact. But in this case, this is very much exact, so like he's probably having his dislikes. Unfortunate luck, especially in terms of losing money, which Ceres is also relations to finances. It's also associated with business. It's business amass wealth. It is very much an amplifier point, so it amplifies whatever it interacts with, but it's very much a neutral amplifier. So if it's very negative, so in this case with these alignments right here of Saturn Venus midpoint, it's very much deeply negative right here. So this is very much like a negative amplification that's coming into play. It's also interacting with Juno, which that's not really ideal either. Now with Juno, in traditional astrology, it is associated with love and so forth. But realistically, what has actually been found is that with Juno, it's delusions, it's self-delusions and deluding others, fantasies, dreams, it's of affairs, it's sexual magnetism, it's sort of like the spell of what someone will experience. But moment that quote spell is broken, which it will leave a very deep sense of like despair and agony and anguish in its own kind of nature. So those are some of the components. In this case, since it's negative, Juno also has tendency to show some narcissistic like traits, or some type of like alternate, viewing of understandings of things. So what this could suggest which is he's also more likely to like self-delude himself. So that's sort of like his undoing, especially in terms like of finances. It is very likely where his intensive finances is more likely to be met with erupt upheavals or loss of money due to like he's probably thinking of like he wants to do this, this, and this. And if it's not realistically structured, it's more likely to like be a situation where he will feel like he's just like the rug was pulled from underneath him. Very much like in distress and sorts as well. With the sun included interacting with Saturn. Saturn, as I mentioned, it is like problems and issues. It's also the symbolism of depression. So while back, Jacksepticeye mentioned that he does have depression or depression-like thoughts, or even thoughts of like kind of like self-hatred, which again, since Saturn is interacting with the sun, the sun is the person of the chart, or in this case, Jacksepticeye himself. It is his courage, his vitality. It even represents like his life force of sorts. So like his ability to live and all that. But in this case, it's sort of like self-hatred. An individual who probably feel or thinks of himself very poorly and very much like dislikes himself to various degrees. But also with Venus interacting with the sun, it also suggests at the exact same time he likes himself, but also he doesn't like himself. So it's that interesting like polarity of like dislikes oneself. He is very much like prone to be this type of like interesting contradictory situation. with Saturn, it's also interacting with Pluto. Pluto is associated with one's professionalism, one's like corporate businesses, financial success, where power can be obtained, determination, and drive. So what this could suggest is he may has to like be has some difficulties in relations to like how he chooses to do his career. So like definitely like the positive components that definitely need to be definitely need to be done. I mean, um, what it is he needs to constantly be practicing like at his corporate skills or to be professional in whatever it is that he chooses to be as his career. So like he needs to constantly be practicing it. He needs to constantly be like disciplining himself to counteract that. If he doesn't do that, obviously it's a situation where he may most likely just shoot himself in the foot. Also, Saturn's interacting with UB313, which is right here. So in this case, what it symbolizes, it's sort of like that situation where UB313, it symbolizes one's distinctive, how distinct one is, the what's new, what's trending type of ordeal. It's a financial celestial body, but it's more of like the finances of like what's new, what's changed, like how to go about with like what is new or creating what is new. Very much like those who are the game changers, those who innovate to various degrees as well. So what this could suggest is he may have some difficulties with innovation, so he needs to practice or like lay down new foundations for that to obtain like innovative skills. Or again, as mentioned before, like this is just another like financial money pit type of ordeal, and it will work against him if he doesn't have some type of like restraints or discipline in general. Now let's bring in all the celestial bodies again into the chart. So we'll be looking at Odin. Now Odin, it is a amplification point. It is also a good luck point, but it is actually way much stronger than Jupiter. In fact, it's actually one of the most strongest positive points in general. In fact, and it's not only just of immense blessings, but also it is essentially super success. It is of like the undisputed leader. It is associated with sort of like one's status in society as well. So Odin, it is actually a very significant point that one should take in consideration into their birth chart and take into consideration like if you are looking for a career, Odin is probably one of the few points you want to really look at. Besides, of course, your Chiron and Pluto within the chart. Let's pull up Senna, the Saturn, Jupiter midpoint, Jupiter Chiron midpoint, Jupiter Venus, and Midas. Yeah, so as you can see here, like this one is very close to being like a very full-on symmetrical pattern. So this has some immense, much more stronger influence in comparison to the Saturn alignment that we've seen, at least to various degrees. It also brings in Chiron to the mix, so that's another point into fit the favor. Also is interacting with the Jupiter Chiron midpoint, which is another positive point that we have mentioned over. Sedna is not very favorable, but it is interacting with a 2 positive and a negative or contradictory like point, and is interacting with Uranus. So actually, let me just so for those who want to pull up these charts for references, there is a copy available on quite a few platforms. Let me just go here real quick. Okay. So, as mentioned here, Odin is interacting with Midas, so immense blessings and immense luck, or undisputed leader in terms of amassed riches and accumulation of wealth. Odin is interacting with both Uranus and Mars, so immense blessings, especially in terms of like one's capabilities of putting the work essentially to like whatever it is that he wants to do, so that work and determination and drive will very much be working in his favor. Also is in relations to Uranus, which is, like I mentioned, it's of components of change, it is of like online high-end technology, it's of like flying and travel. So we see this like immensely true for like his situation as an online content creator or posting videos online or entertainment, because Uranus is of entertainment and the work and efforts towards that is being met with immense blessings and luck, especially with the strong accumulation of wealth in that. Now with also Saturn-Jupiter midpoint, this is one of the most interesting contradictory midpoints where it's extreme grace but also extreme paranoia. It's also a situation where one is likely to be extremely intelligent but also extremely paranoid. It's being seen at your worst, but also like extreme desires to want to do good or have deep dark desires at the exact same time. It's very much pure blunders all over the place is what more likely to manifest. With the Jupiter-Venus midpoint, it is associated with like immense blessings and luck. It is sort of like the champion leader or the champion in terms of sports, and also just general good luck altogether. So, in this case, extremely graceful or extremely like benevolent in terms of how he uses his good luck, in terms of being a leader and so forth. And again, with Sedna interacting with this point, it is ambitions and drive and determination. So like determination and drive to be a better leader and being very benevolent as well, or flexible and understanding, is what also contributes to his amassed success and luck in that stance. Also, they are interacting with Chiron, which is like his free will, his ability to choose whatever he chooses to do to make a living. In this case, again, ability to make a free living in making an immense amount of money, or even in terms of just being a undisputed leader in that sense as well, of being a good leader and or boss. And also immense blessings and luck in general is also in another layer of, again, because of the Jupiter Chiron midpoint mentioned here. So that's just some of the interpretations that can come about from this pattern alone. We'll be pulling up our next chart. So let us look at, let's see. Let's pull up XQC. And pull up all his points just so we can filter through. And let's look at the heliocentric chart. So I might as well take this out. So here we are looking at XQC's heliocentric birth chart. Let's see, a good point. Let's look at Isis. So let's keep Mercury, we'll keep Mars. Uranus. Let's see, take out Neptune. Chiron. Ixion. Varuna. Let's see, Jupiter Chiron midpoint. Isis. Jupiter Senna midpoint. Jupiter Venus midpoint. Okay. So in this chart, we have Isis interacting with Chiron. It is interacting with Mercury, Ixion, Pluto, the Saturn Chiron midpoint, the Jupiter Venus midpoint, Mars, Uranus, and the Jupiter Senna midpoint, and Varuna is over here. So with Isis, it is the point of fortune. It is the point in which not just one's path to fortune, but also like it is where your superpowers are. It is also one's ability to be seen as royalty or be royalty itself. It's also the ability to marry into royalty. It's also of the elevator point or the elevated point. It is also a quote, your path or your yellow brick road, or the star ascensions of sorts, in terms of like where you want to be and how you can succeed. With Isis, it is interacting with Varuna, so this is not a great start already, because Varuna, it is the planets of extremes. It is planets of too much of something or too much of everything. It is pure chaos. At times it is sometimes good, but usually it is pure chaos and very much like too much of something or everything. That is sort of like what it does. It is very much overwhelming. It's very much like the supreme, if not the absolute extreme of whatever it is interacting with. So in this case, we probably would see or should expect to some degree like an extreme ability or situation where he may see himself a little too high up from time to time. Not necessarily he would be doing that, but there's situations where that can very much manifest. However, with Isis, it is also interacting with the Jupiter Sedna midpoint. As I mentioned, this is very much like success in terms of one's determination, drive, and overall general success. So what we could see, like his immense passive fortune, is by sort of like based on his own luck in terms of determination and success and domination, like abilities, and this is very much an extreme like nature, but is very much in his favor as well. With Isis, it is also interacting with Uranus. Now, an interesting thing with Uranus and Isis, they do share one thing in common, for sure, which is sort of like the concept of fame and popularity as well. So in this case, like he has immense ability and immense path of fortunes in relation to like fame and success in relations to being a content creator or a self-made royal, especially. So with Isis interacting with Mars, it is the determination, the drive. It is sort of like the work in terms of like putting into like whatever it is that he wants to do. In this case, the work and efforts that he put into being whatever it is that he wants to do in terms of following his quote star to be very successful, and it'll very much be like that rocket booster to bring him up further. Is also interacting with Jupiter Venus midpoint. In this case, this is a very positive alignment overall. So what this could suggest is that in this case, we see a unusual, if not interesting, extremism where he is very much going to be also like very benevolent, very successful, very much like a leader to some sort of degree, whether it's through his community or when it comes to like playing in teams with others and so forth. Like that's where we're more likely to see that. Also, again, this is like his point or path to fortune. So immense luck and immense cash flow due to positive public image is what's most likely going to cause the ability to be seen in a positive light and be seen as like a self-made royal, especially in the entertainment or gaming like industry. And again, it is also driven based on his determination and drive. And it is interacting with Pluto, which is the career point as well. So again, we're seeing a situation where like he is very much guaranteed or is very likely to be very competitive in his career because Pluto is a competitive point. And let me just double check this real quick. So it's interacting with Mercury, which is another athlete point. This is also a significant athlete point or athletic-like point. Since competitive gaming does require some competitive like athlete abilities, especially with one's ability to be very quickly, which what I highlighted with Mercury, it is a speeds of all kinds. So like we see him like professionally speaking in a competitive field where things are very quick and fast paced, interacting with Uranus partially as well. So again, with Uranus, it's like of online, it is content creation, entertainment. So very much like a full-on professional athlete, especially in terms of being successful with playing games, because both Uranus and Mercury rules technology, but to be more precise, it is very much of online. Mercury is sort of like the digital or computer-like software components, while Uranus will be like the streaming aspects. It would be the online aspects of it. It would be the entertainment aspects of that, while Mercury is more the program itself and also the computers. So immense professional careers, success. So career and success as a content creator is the path to fortune, and that will also be assisted with his immense luck and blessings, especially with his determination and drive to put in the work into being a full-time professional content creator. It is also interacting with Ixion, so this is another amplification point, in which is more like skills, mastery, whereas one's potential is. So again, we're seeing like that immense amplification, like immense potential in terms of a career into being a very super successful content creator is what's happening in this chart. With the Saturn Chiron midpoint, this is the heartbreak alignment. This is sort of like being seen at your worst. So at the exact same time, what it's interacting with, it's sort of like the path of fortune. It is also negatively interacting with his skills and determination. So these are sort of like trials, like if he is not practicing to be better in terms of like being a successful content creator, this is a situation where like he needs to constantly be doing it and also constantly be practicing, like succeeding at various video games. If not, he can very much like to various degrees like lose whatever he was working for. So in terms of like he takes an excessively long break of whether it's from streaming or from gaming or some type of situation of that nature, it can actually jeopardize his likelihood of being still a famous and very successful, along with a very stable career in terms of being a content creator or competitive gamer. Also with Chiron, which is like the public's image and positive viewing, ensuring trust, it's one's ability to be super successful, super famous as well. It's one's free will. It is like where one chooses to make a living. So again, like choose to make a living as a content creator is very much reliant in terms of like his determination and drive. And that is very much like, again, the path of fortune to like how he's able to achieve and obtain it. And it's sort of like on that thread or that small fragile situation, since it's kind of separated in a way where it can very much be like a devastating heartbreak where it's too much of something or everything if he is not very generous or putting the work and efforts towards it. If he does put the work and efforts towards it, then and also be very generous and also like try to embody like being a very much a good leader, he wouldn't experience any type of heartbreak. But if he does avoid it, then it is very likely that it's going to be like too much of something or everything where like it is fully jeopardized or it comes into question. So that's some of the interpretations that we can find from XQC's chart in terms of luck, at least with Isis. Let's see. Let's pull in another individual. Let us look at Jaden Animations. And again, let's pull up every other point in the chart as well. And let's see. Let's take that out. The Venus Chiron midpoint. So let's see, Saturn, Vesta, Juno, UV313. Okay, Saturn, Pluto midpoint. And the Venus Chiron midpoint. Chiron, Saturn, Jupiter, maybe 313. Juno, that's the Saturn. Okay, so what we have here is there is sort of 3, but realistically 2 conjoined grand trines, which is the green equilateral triangle you see here. We also have Juno quincunx to the Saturn-Jupiter midpoint. As mentioned, this is a bit of a blunder midpoint, or in this case, a interesting situation of contradictions. Let me just pull up my notes further, just so I can give you just a bit more information of what that point is. So just bear with me. Okay, so it's extreme grace. It is selflessness, intense obsessions, paranoia, dark desires, nuclear, devastating mistakes, bad judgment, confusion, agitation, distress, overwhelming high stress, clashes of wills, different outlooks, little room for accommodation or compromise. And those are just some of the many interpretations that can come from just the Saturn Jupiter midpoint over here, with the Venus Chiron midpoint into the mix. It is love and romance, beautiful marriage, the dream, combined destinies. It is uniting futures, becoming one family, money from partners, joint forces, lifelong relationships, charismatic relationships or marriage, great hope for the union, a higher chance of marriage, enduring bonds, charismatic beauty, love of the new age, love of the idea of marriage and building a family, making money from the entertainment industry. Those are just some of those interpretations that could come from that midpoint. So in this case, it is the situation of like money from the entertainment industry interacting with like extreme obsessions. It is also interacting with maybe stress and agitation. So like she's most likely able to make money from entertainment and all that, but also she's probably prone to obsession, like obsessively work to the point where it's immense stress and anxieties or agitations for herself in some form of way. And with Saturn interacting here, again, as I mentioned, Saturn is the point of like discipline. It is also like sort of like determination. Practice makes perfect. It is also like the crystallization of problems or issues. It is depression and so forth. So like we kind of see like this interesting contradiction like with Jaden Animations in terms of like how she chooses to like she's able to make money from her career, especially in the entertainment industry, but also like at the exact same time, like to various degrees, it may be like scenarios and situations where like it is very much taking a toll on her in some form of way. Now, it also UB313 is also included into this point. As I mentioned, it is a minor financial point. Is also referred to as determine sort of like what's make one's very distinctive. It is the point in which like what's new, what's trending. It's sort of like the game changers, the makeshifts, and like rapid diversity and like distinguishable, and one's ability to be very like distinguishable as well. So like her content is very much like very much like very distinguished, like everyone can recognize her work. And also with Venus, it's also like represents like one artistic abilities or the ability to create art. So the ability to create art as a full-time career in the entertainment industries, and this is a disciplined action. And of course, this is like what's new and trending. Like, not saying that she quote invented the whole, created the whole new wheel and so forth, but no, like she managed to like discipline and master it to the point that she's very distinctive, very noticeable in terms of like how she make and create her animations. With interacting with Vesta, this is also the point, as I mentioned, like it is a situation in which like it is like ability, sharing, caring, it is genuine and so forth. So like it is genuine, like true artwork and like hard work and determination into like making like their living and career online as a content creator, but as an animator as well. And also it is interacting with Juno. As I mentioned, it has something to do with like creativity. It is dreams and illusions and all that. So in this case, like the fantasies or like self-expressions with like a creative force in terms of like how she's able to do so is through making animations and art. And that is how she's able to make the career. But of course, if she's not careful, she's also prone to very much like self-diluting herself into being very obsessive, whether it's short or long-term obsessions, where that will just kind of like inadvertently lead to a type of downfall in which like she's very much like stuck or bound to like her work, where it's obsessions and it's creating immense amount of like agitations or anxieties of some from away. So those are just some of the interpretations that can occur for Jaden Animation's birth chart. Now, let me just hold this up over here. Now, let's pull up one more person's chart and we'll call it a day from here. Let us look at, let's see, especially a person we haven't gone over in a while. Let's do Lily Pichu. So let me just pull up all her points again. Okay. Now let's look at I'm just trying to find something that's like very interesting in terms of the chart. I'm not saying like the entire chart is uninteresting. It's just nothing's really catching my eye in the moment. This should just take me a bit. Let's see. Let's just focus on Odin in her Zodiac 7 alignment chart. So the Zodiac 7 is not really I guess you say like a separate thing. It is very much a point in which, or viewing, where we break the Zodiac into 7 equal pieces, and we then use all possible angles when breaking the circle into 7 equal pieces. And it's not just the Zodiac 7, but we also use alignments when breaking the pieces into the whole circle into 5 equal pieces, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 13, besides the standard Zodiac 12. So, and each one does show its own unique situation. Like, for example, the Zodiac 5 and Zodiac 10 is very much like pure chaos. It's unpredictable. But with the Zodiac 8, it is very much as pure destruction. Or like it's very much hardships, or it's very much like stressful or tension. Like with the Zodiac 7, which is what we're viewing right here, it is very neutral. So whatever the alignments are is very neutral, but is very much strong. It's very much like an amplification like point. The only thing is they take into the nature of whatever alignments are created from what planet. So if you have very one positive and very one negative, well, you're seeing a very interesting contradictory point in which like is very lenient towards positive but also negative. So it can go either way. Or let's say 2 positive planets, obviously the alignment will be very positive, and vice versa. So it is very significant because they're very powerful, but also they're very neutral. Let's see, there is Lilith, Jupiter, Sun, midpoint. And Odin. So, let me just take the screenshot now because we'll be done with this pretty soon. Okay. So, as I have mentioned, with Odin, it is very much the point of leadership. It is of luck, status, blessings, achievements, accommodation, success, power, being courageous. It is a credible bringer of blessings and or gifts, especially blessings and or gifts in business, finance, health, beauty, fame, relationships, and so forth. The undisputed leader, it is the emperor, wisdom, wise leader, the monarch, and as I mentioned, it is much more stronger than Venus, Vesta, Jupiter, Chiron, and Neptune. So that's the whole kind of situation with Odin. Is also interacting with Lilith, With Lilith, it is referred to as the point of one's, quote, demonic, like, sort of like the message of demons or like demonic, like, energy or situations. So, like, very cynical, very much like the clouds over one's head, very much like pessimistic. It is sort of like distrusting of like genuine kindness and so forth. It's also the point where one may also be envious of said happiness and kindness. It's also the point, if we were to, let's say, talk about fashion, for example, is also the point where one is likely to be dressed or viewed as very emo, punk, or even goth. So those are some of the interesting like components or manifestation of Lilith. So with the Jupiter Sin at midpoint as well, as I have mentioned before, it is very much like the success points. It is like success in ambitions, determination, and drive. It can very much be like where one will obtain or has like very positive status in terms of like where they're at, even if it's undeserved as well. So what this could suggest is like, in this case, the immense like blessings and like wisdom and knowledge and all that may have like come from like trauma or like distrusting of like various situations or various positive individuals, but it inadvertently turned into some type of wisdom, or the wisdom and very much like successful, like driven determination and so forth, like sort of like overrided the negative components of like Lilith. Also, Lilith is of like loneliness, or as I have mentioned beforehand, like in different streams and so forth. With Lilith, what I have noticed, since it's also symbolic of like demons, well, also it also plays into this keyword or slang for computer science. So like what demons, what that refer to is sort of like a process or procedure that is done in the background to bring something in the upfront. So whether it's like a background software or program that's being run before like it brings something up to like the viewer, it sort of also suggests that like Lily, she is more likely to be like immense bringer of blessings or receive those blessings because she works in the background. She works by herself often and frequently. As a result, she is able to obtain massive wealth and success due to her determination and drive. Those are just some of the interpretations that can come from this alignment. And from that alone, I think that should be it for this little stream. If you are interested in learning more about the astrology of luck, please come back and hope to see you soon. Till then, bye.